going on, guys? My name is Matt. Welcome back to the channel. This one is a little bit different. This is going to be a sort of a mash together, a time-lapse sort of rig of redoing my garage. So before it had like 4-foot batten lights. There wasn't very much lighting, only sort of when you had the garage door open. So I replaced those with like 6 downlights, and then repair the holes. And then, as well as that, the concrete was really stained and just disgusting. Like, even working on it, and you drop, obviously if you've got a concrete floor in your garage and you drop oil on it, it soaks into the concrete and then it stains it. It looks terrible. So being a mechanic, I'm not working in there all the time, but I just thought it's a lot better to have an epoxy floor, just like I've got in my shed. So I've wanted to do it for a while, and I finally had some time to actually put aside and get it all done. So this video is just a bunch of time lapses thrown together of me like sort of emptying it out, epoxying the floor, well, doing the downlights, epoxying the floor, and also putting some additional storage in there, and then putting it all back in. And I think it turned out pretty good. I'm very happy with it. Still got to sort of rub the ceiling where I patched up for the lights, but other than that, it's done, and I'm very happy with it. Like, it looks more like a showroom now. So that was sort of my aim, to have a nice place to park the cafe, and also my partner's car will be in a nicer place. I mean it was fine before, it was okay, but it was just something I've always wanted to do, and I'm very happy with the results. Alright, so I mean, obviously the first place to start is, you know, unpacking the garage. So you can see me here, I'm just well, my husky was cruising around there, but I'm moving both our bikes out. You know, I've got a gym set up, so I started moving all that stuff out. And if you've ever moved a gym setup, you know how heavy it is. So obviously had to put it somewhere. So I went out to my shed, got all the sheds sort of ready to, created a bit of space just so I can start putting some stuff there. So move the R1 over, get it to the point where I can, you can see Max rolling around there. Come on, Max. Yeah, so move it around, get the bikes up there, and you know, put as much stuff as possible up in the shed while the epoxy is going to be curing. So that was the main thing. The epoxy just takes, you know, days and days before you can actually properly walk on it and put stuff back on it. So anyway, back in the garage, removing the mirror, got that back there, put it inside, and just got a little squat rack there. Pull up all the gym tiles, and we'll get all these back out the back. So you can see in the corner of my shot there, that's my little fold-up trailer. That thing's wicked. Love it. Absolutely love it. They're called Easy Trailer, and I think that one was, I think it cost me around $1,100. So it's so good. Folds up, you just chuck it in the corner and you forget about it. It's awesome. So on the other side of the garage, I just have a couple of storage racks, and they always look really sort of messy. So the left-hand ones with the tubs, they're all our camping gear. So when I put them back in, the aim is to sort of put it back in, and but neatly, and only those tub racks on those storage shelves. So on the right, I'm going to replace that shelving unit with a proper cabinet, just so, you know, out of sight, out of mind. It looks a lot neater. So anyway, we get those out of the way and start sweeping. So yeah, obviously the, you know, prep work for any sort of epoxy job is the biggest part. You know, you got to get the surface clean enough. It's a garage, so it probably would have had oil and grease and, you know, dirt and whatever. There's Luna. That's Luna. She's the best. But she's always supervising with her toy in her mouth. Hilarious. But anyway, you've always got to get the surface prepped correctly and right. So that's what the biggest time. But I sort of stood back and I was like, well, I've got to do these downlights. So at least I got the area clean and empty. I'll start measuring up for the downlights. So started measuring up, cutting holes, making dust, you know, just clean the whole garage and then now start cutting holes and making dust. You know, I mean, this stuff is pretty straightforward, this stuff. So, you know, I did some measuring. Mrs. came out to no doubt tell me I was doing the wrong job or something like that. But yeah, we cut the holes. I think shaping up pretty good. Just iron it up. Going to cut the last 2 holes. Ran a bunch of cable to each of the holes. Just 1.5 mil. That's all you need for a lighting circuit. So ran them out, fit them off in the plug bases, and then fitted all the lights into the holes. Pretty straightforward. So obviously at the end of the day, pretty dirty there. So this is me just test fitting everything, make sure everything lines up and whatnot. You see the garage door go down a few times, but yeah. Anyway, at the end of the day, it's pretty dirty in there, so I just cleaned everything up, and yeah, that'll do it for day 1. So tomorrow we'll really get into final prep work and then epoxying. So yeah, this is what it looks like sort of at dusk or whatever. Look at that, that looks amazing. Alright, so this is the next day. Early morning, got my jumper on, it's nice and chilly. Got the old vac out and blew the last remaining stuff off. Wet all the floor and then sprayed a whole bunch of degreaser and got scrubbing. So obviously there's oil in the slab. Over time, you know, people working in it, whatever. So you get the degreaser, you sort of scrub it all in properly. This is just poked that in. Scrub it all in properly and sort of let it semi-dry, and then you do sections with the etching. So the etching like really bites into the concrete and makes the epoxy bite to the concrete itself. So you got to sort of do it in stages, and while you're doing it, it actually fizzes. You can hear it like fizzing. So when it stops fizzing, that's good to go. You can rinse it off after that. So yeah, you just do it sort of in quarters and that. So I'm trying to squeegee it all out, let it all dry properly. Had to go to Bunnings and pick up a little roller kit, but once I got back, I just dried those edges, and because they were the part that were really sort of taking their time to dry. So you got to let it fully dry before you even think about applying any sort of epoxy on it. So this is me just giving it a helping hand. Okay, so this is a 2-part epoxy. So it comes in the kit. It gives you really good instructions. It's really straightforward, but there's literally a tub that says part A and another one that says part B. And you put them both in a bucket and you just mix them together for ages. But you actually have to let it, I can't remember the terminology, but you got to let it sort of cure over time. Well, it sort of like bonds to itself. So I think in my case with the current temperature, it was like around 30 minutes that I had to let it sit. So yeah, once you do that, then you can apply it. So it lets the 2 parts properly bond together. So this is the fun part, finally doing the epoxying. So you do it in quarters again, and then you throw the little sprinkle stuff down afterwards, a little flake. So you obviously paint the edges and then just roll it on, baby. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Thank you so much for sticking around. That's how you can epoxy your floor and add some downlights. I've been wanting to do that for a long time now, and I'm very stoked with the outcome. It's just really changed and modernized my garage to the point where I'm happy with it. I'm proud to park my cafe in there and my partner's car and all that sort of stuff. Got the nice little gym set up in there, and I just think it all works really well in there. It's really organized, and it's cleaner than it was, and it's going to be a pleasure to work out of it and work in it. So yeah, some big news coming up on the channel. Stay tuned for that. It involves a couple of brand new motorcycles that are sitting in that shed at the moment, and I'll elaborate more a bit on the next video. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. That is going to be very exciting. So, all right, like I said, that's going to do it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you hadn't already. Drop us a like and let me know what you're building in the comments. And I will see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.